Hello colleagues, thank you for sharing your time with me. Bonjour collègues, je vous remercie de me donner l'occasion de vous parler. I would like to start by acknowledging that I am speaking to you from the traditional and unceded territories of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh peoples. And I want to express my gratitude for the ability to live, work, and play on a land that I was never invited to settle on. And I commit individually and collectively to working towards a true reconciliation that respects the rights of the original peoples of these lands. So another year as a member of your executive has added to my opportunities to learn about the experiences of colleagues across the country as I travel to annual meetings and represent the CTF. Meeting and speaking with educators across the country has always been my favorite part of this work. It gives me a chance to understand the unique issues arriving in each province and territory. And just as importantly, it gives me a concrete understanding of the issues common to all of us and how they are impacting our different members. Last year started with a truly unique opportunity as I attended the EI World Congress with many of our colleagues. Having the chance to see worldwide issues in education and discuss them with my national peers was a privilege and deepened my understanding of our common work. Of course, the ability to meet teachers in person in Canada ended abruptly several months ago. And since then, we have been occupied primarily with supporting our member organizations in dealing with a pandemic which has disrupted all our lives. I look forward to the point in the next year when those important engagements can resume and we once again continue building the connections that are so vital to our work. The current pandemic did not occur in a vacuum. It entered into an already uncertain landscape created by governments across the country moving to radically alter education policy and to sidestep contracts. And then it created even more uncertainty. While we as educators and as union activists pride ourselves on being prepared and proactive, COVID created a period where we primarily reacted. The number of issues and the pace of change, combined with the unprecedented nature of a global pandemic, caught us all on the back foot. But we have weathered the initial storm, and now we look to the fall and prepare for all possibilities. Right now, the CTF must connect our organizations and support all of us by providing a flow of information that allows us to challenge harmful changes that arise during this crisis. We have initiated and continue to host a bi-weekly national conversation to facilitate the sharing of information and ideas. We have taken significant steps to allow CTF staff to work remotely in a productive way, and we continue to fine-tune those processes. The budget you'll be examining has been produced with careful thought given to what the continued impact of the pandemic on our regular business will be, and funds have been allocated accordingly. Of course, nobody can state with any certainty what 2 weeks from now will look like, let alone 2 months or more. But we have judiciously increased our capacity in the areas most impacted to date and continue to analyze the organization for ways to maintain the same standards and service that our members expect. In every challenge, there are also opportunities for learning and growth, and this is no different. Through solidarity and collaboration, the CTF can come out of this as an even stronger representative of the 250,000 members we have, and we intend to. While this urgent work is certainly a priority for the coming year, it is by no means the only work we need to do. We must continue to examine our governance structures to look for ways to improve equity of access and ensure that we are more representative of the diversity of our membership. Specifically, we must examine where any systemic racism exists in our structures and remove it. We need to do this work by engaging our members who are affected by racism and ensuring that it is their voices we are listening to when we consider how to improve. We also need to continue with the cross-country opportunity for collaboration that our advisory committees provide, and to raise that voice in our deliberations. We're also going to need to consider how to support member organizations which may be facing a decline in membership next year as the combination of COVID and underfunding of education erode their education systems. There is much that we do every year, and all of that needs to continue. We do need to be forward-looking as well, and to be aware of the opportunities neoliberal governments and private interests will see in this COVID-19 crisis. Naomi Klein coined the phrase disaster capitalism to describe a very real additional threat faced by societies experiencing a real disaster. As the educators we represent across this country work harder than ever in their rooms, we owe it to them to be looking for and defending against the inevitable opportunistic attacks on their autonomy, professionalism, health and safety, and contractual rights. Educators are rightfully focused on the individual students that need their help, and our job is to focus on the big picture to support them. One quick example is the need to deliver education remotely. This has opened a wide door to online learning that many jurisdictions have been wedging their foot into for a long time, and many involved do not have our members' or students' best interests at heart. We must be prepared to push back and to defend publicly funded public education. I've appreciated advocating for and representing Canadian teachers, and I would be honored to continue on behalf of colleagues across the country.